phim hay sao đó.
Welcome to the world of the famous studio tour, the best thing in the park. Studio tour lasts about 1 hour. Make sure you visit restrooms on your right hand side before you hop on the tram. This is a long ride, everybody. 1 hour tram tour with no.
We're gonna do the tram first, and then we're gonna do Water World. If we get there on time.
Consejos están llegando para la gira en español de las 3:30. Ya está llena, está completa y no quedan asientos. La próxima sale a las 4:30. La gira en inglés está disponible en este momento. La gira en español de las 3:30 ya está llena. Llegan tarde.
Hello. Thank you. It's packed for general, but for express it's not that packed. It's less people. There'll be some days where it's more people on both sides, which is kind of a trip. But if you guys are just coming in, welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. Bye. Oh, okay, I see. That's the Spanish one. The Spanish one is going. Maybe one day I'll do Spanish. It's a totally different vibe.
One more introduction to make. My equipment. You might recognize this guy from SNL or
Hello to all my friends in line. At this moment, we're going to be boarding out our regularly scheduled 3:30 Spanish tour. Thank you so much for your patience while we get these guys on our tour. Unfortunately, this one is already full for the hour, so we cannot have any extra guests on board. I do apologize. But once again, we thank you for your patience. Make sure we're filling in all the available space in front of this friend so we can keep an accurate wait time for you once we get back to our English tours. Also, make sure you're grabbing a pair of those 3D glasses. Once you see them, you will need them to make pink comment the tour. Thank you for your patience, friends, and thank you for joining us for the world famous Universal Studio Tour.
That's the Spanish tour. It is a fun tour in the Spanish one. It's totally different from the English one. As you guys know, what's up, Paris? As you guys know, the tour, it's a actual city with their own zip code, street addresses, It's a legit city, but the only thing missing there is civilians living there, people living in the back lot. The reason why they don't live in the back lot because they use the back lot for commercials, movies, events, all that. They do have a fire station, police station, and even paramedics on site too.
Por favor, no tengan pena, bailen y canten la canción, ¿ok? Pero yo no veo ni un alma aquí moviéndose en el tranvía. ¿Qué les pasa a ustedes? De lado, a lado, izquierda, derecha, derecha.
So
Ahí los veo, está mejor la cosa, está mejor. Ahora,
that's a Spanish tour. They got the electric one, pretty dope. Again, it's a cool experience for sure. If you know Spanish, take it. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate the likes and the support.
Hello, welcome aboard the world famous studio tour. We're gonna get rolling here in just a couple of moments, but in the meantime, make sure you have a pair of gravity glasses. You don't have to wear them the whole tour, but this is the only place to get them, so make sure you have a pair of those glasses before we leave our loading area. Also, as those tram doors close, watch your arms and legs. If you have any children with you today, anybody in your party whose speech do not touch the floor when they are sitting.
The last time we were here, we saw John Murdy in the back lot.
All right, last call for those
Let's go, Paris.
glasses. You have a beautiful view off to your right side of our studio lot, right at the bottom of this hill here. You can see some of our backlot sound stages as well as our sets here. There's some other studios out in the distance as well. Depending on where you're sitting, you might be able to see that white water tower. That is where Paramount is, and a little bit to the right is a warehouse-looking building with the WB logo on it, of course, others. All right, folks, looks like it is time to hit the road. Wave farewell to the theme park. We'll see them in about an hour or so.
The next show for Waterworld's at 4:45 or
My name is
4:15. I'm not too
We're
sure.
going to go through our 400-acre lot of movie making magic together. Now, for those of you sitting a little farther back, hi, I'm up in the front car. Now, you probably can see that I'm facing you. I'm not driving, so I want you all to give a huge round of applause for your driver, Kurt! Yeah, Kurt is the most important person on this tram because wherever Kurt goes,
Let's go, Paris.
we go
W.
too. That's right. All right, you've met me, you've met your driver. I have one more person to help us kick off the studio tour.
So pretty much coming out of here, we'll go do the Waterworld show. After the Waterworld show, we'll do Panda and then Pets,
Michelle.
and then we'll call it.
Kurt. Michelle.
Both me $5.
Oh, great.
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
All right, Jimmy. Now we do have some rules to make sure we get back to the theme park in one piece. So first, if you need guest assistance, if you have a medical emergency, drop something of value off the side of the tram, have any sound or video issues, reach up, grab that red emergency cord that runs along the center of the ceiling. Stop the tram and I'll be back to assist you when it's safe for me to do so, but otherwise do remain seated at all times. The studio is private property, so if at any time you drop your phone, can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord and remain seated. No smoking of any kind on the tour today, and be prepared. Our tour features loud noises, fire effects, water effects, and many sudden tram movements. So be sure to secure your belongings so they don't get dropped or wet, and also make
Don't
sure
forget,
you hold
Halloween Horror Nights is
yourself and
literally
body
around the
for
corner,
your safety and
which is
safety.
next month on the
Refrain
4th.
from using
So if you
cell
guys are planning on going, buy your tickets now
All
before
right, let's get back to the
there's
movies.
no tickets for September, almost to the ending of September.
That stars Wendy McClendon-Covey from the 2011 film Bridesmaids, along
How about now?
with David Allen Green. As we leave our front lot,
There?
we're headed to our back lot. The first thing we get
Am I
to see
good?
here on our back lot sets are our metropolitan streets.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This was actually my old
Okay.
neighborhood. What's got bugged over there? An old woman. Tough lady. Who's my favorite hot dog guy? Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, what's cool guys?
This is where they did Bruce Almighty.
So it's not exactly New
Movie.
York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets.
Home
You
Alone
can make it here
as well.
anywhere. Even if
And then we're coming up on Back to the Future.
As our tram drives down the very street that a very famous time machine made it up to 88 miles per hour. We are now turning into a special part of our larger metro area. This is called Courthouse Square. They got some exterior courthouse scenes filmed here from one of our Academy Award-winning films, To Kill a Mockingbird, based on the Harper Lee novel. Most people probably know Courthouse Square, though, as parts of Hill Valley and the Clock Tower from Back to the Future. Also, for my musical theater fans, this is where
That's Back
Conrad
to the
Birdie
Future.
said farewell to the townsfolk in Bye Bye Birdie, starring Anne Margaret. Those are just a couple more examples of how this one area on our larger metro sets has been transformed into countless places. It's a great video to show some of the flexibility that is available when filmmakers choose to make their project on a film lot as opposed to out in the real world. Now, folks, we are driving through some other sides here of our metro set, but as we continue, I want to point out our brownstone street that's going to be coming up to your right. And you actually just
This is where
saw
they
the
film
other
a lot of
side.
the
That was the
Marvel
street
movies,
with those
Spider-Man
tall
movies.
staircases
This is
that
Little
go
New York.
into the doorways,
Fast and the
as well
Furious
as
movies was
tall
filmed here.
lampposts.
Taxi.
As your car drives by the other side here, get a good look at it because it's probably going to be familiar.
What's up, little Richie? Happy Sunday.
That was Jim Carrey in the film Bruce Almighty, and yes, our BEA beautiful metro sets have been used for countless things. If you are a fan of the show American Ninja Warrior, sometimes when they film here, they will set up their
I'm good. How about yourself?
in our city metro.
Am I lagging? Let me know.
Typically film overnight. Lady Gaga did her Edge of Glory music video here as well. You might also recognize these streets from your wildest dreams, as Taylor Swift filmed part of that music video here too. Now folks, you've had a really nice and calm, relaxing drive so far through our
I'm glad you're doing good.
as well as our metro sets, but in just a couple of moments we are about to head up this hill and things are going to get a little bit bumpy. In just a moment we are headed in to Skull Island.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies.
No lag?
I saw
Okay.
that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island. We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality. He's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. He is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his foes, the T-Rexes and the various dinosaurs on Skull Island, so he's been beaten up, scarred, chewed up, spat out by these dinosaurs. He wears the scars of a lot of ancient battles.
Alright, brave adventurers, before we get too far into the tunnel to Skull Island, I do need to remind you, please remain seated at all times. Hang on to your belongings. Hang on yourselves, of course. Keep your arms and legs inside of the tram. And also have those 3D glasses ready to go. Welcome to Skull Island.
The Universal tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife in Skull Island. In a sense, this is like a mini sequel, a mini continuation. We are just taking the Kong and Skull Island and the dinosaurs that we established in our feature film, and this is, another personality as it appeared to do it.
Alright, here we go, boys. We're going back in time. We're going back in the era where dinosaurs were still around. Not just dinosaurs, but also King Kong himself.
Glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
go. We survived Kong Island. We did it.
Congratulations, you just arrived King Kong 363D, the bravest tram. In fact, I find that the smallest adventurers are usually the bravest ones. Way to go, friends. They got kind of bananas in there, eh? Yeah. Hopefully, you did not know anybody back in that thin tram car. They are on a very different tour now, aren't they? That amazing experience, of course, brought to us by Peter Jackson, the director of that 2005 King Kong film, but also the folks over at Weta Effects. They currently have 7 Academy Awards for their work and have been involved in other films like Avatar and Hobbit trilogies. We're now driving down London Square Street. This is just another side of our metro sets, and we've got to go through this way to get to other parts of our back lot. But I thought as we drive through this time, I would show you how our metro sets were used in one of my favorites, the Blues Brothers.
When the Pinto fell and you saw it land and make this big hole in the street, that was on the back lot. You dropped it from a crane. Dig like that in Chicago.
When people ask me, all the movies I've ever done, like, is the most satisfying, the most fun. I've got to say, Blues Brothers. We got to sing, we got to dance, got to drive, train with the best stunt people in the world, and got to be an actor. So it was a good piece of work.
Danny called John America's Guest because there's two walking in anybody's house.
During the shooting of the movie, John was missing, we couldn't find him.
Danny went off looking for him and saw a light on this one house and knocked on it.
I said, sir, we're doing a movie down here, we're looking for one of our actors. Oh, John, yeah, he's on my couch. He came in, he had a snack a couple hours ago, he's sleeping. He was America's Guest. I mean, literally that.
I love that story and bit of Hollywood history. I do have some more Hollywood history coming up on your right. This is a mural of some of our classic Universal monsters. Looks like someone has pulled the emergency cord. If this is a medical emergency, will you please pull it one more time? All right, let me check with my driver. All right, I'm gonna get out and come find you. Make sure when I walk by, you raise your hand so I know where you're at. fun little walk down horror memory lane within Universal history as we pass by our monster mural. I don't remember if I said it before. Kristen Eaton, he did the entire thing out of spray paint, and I think it was just so cool. If you want something a little more modern though, to your left, you might recognize the red V logo on the side of stages 30 and 31. That of course is home to The Voice. And right next to it here, stages 32 and 33, those are home to Happy's Place, which is Reba McEntire's other show. Speaking of horror though, if you're a fan of Jordan Peele, like I am, you might recognize the street we're driving on right now from the beginning of his film, Nope. This is the street that horse trailer drove away on at the beginning of the movie after filming the commercial on that studio lot. This body of water, by the way, it does have a fun name. It's known as the Hollywood Ocean. They got some shots here for the creature from the Black Lagoon. Some shots of a state park down in Florida. Stitched those together, and that is going to be the on-screen location of the film, set to emulate the Amazon rainforest. That film celebrated its 70th anniversary last year, and get this, they filmed it in
What's up, Jaden?
3D. What an experience that must have been to watch back in theaters in 1954. The Creature Returns, the film's sequel, is celebrating its 70th anniversary this year. We are now headed to another body of water with its own iconic monster in it. Hopefully you're ready for a vacation. It's time to go to Amity Island. Now, my buddy George said he would find us the perfect swimming spot. Hope you brought your swimsuit and your sunscreen. Now, I'm seeing George's boat, but I don't see George. You know, something seems a little bit fishy. Oh, there's George. Hi, we're over here. Don't worry, folks. George is very, very brave. He always shows us he's got a lot of guts. Needed a bigger tram. That was Bruce. He's our mechanical shark here as part of our studio tour attraction. And our Bruce was named after Bruce, the mechanical shark used in filming Jaws out on location in Martha's Vineyard in the 70s. And that Bruce was named after Steven Spielberg's lawyer, Bruce. And Bruce is still Spielberg's lawyer to this day. The man, not the mechanical sharks, of course. However, our Bruce does something the others don't. He swims backwards. Look at him go. Does anybody happen to have a guess as to why that fire was so hot? It was real, yeah. The fire, the water, even that shark effect, they were all there in front of our eyes, right? They were not effects added in during post-production with computers. So we're going to see another display now of practical effects. This time it's going to be more in the vein of weather. Our tour began on July 15, 1964, and this attraction joined our tour route in 1968. So this is a classic that is still part of the tour today. And regardless of what the weather is like here in beautiful Los Angeles, this is the place I can guarantee will always be stormy. Please make sure you remain seated at all times on the tram. You might recognize this part of our studio lot from Lady Gaga's Jarita Upload's music video, or maybe from the film Big Fat Liar, starring Frankie Muniz, 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐿, and 𝐂𝐡𝐢𝐤𝐤. Now, being able to control the weather is a very impressive feat, but why do filmmakers go through the trouble? Well, in part, it's because weather can be such an instrumental storytelling tool. So, for example, if you like horror, like I do, how much scarier are those scenes that you find really crashing lightning and stuff? Hold on, folks, this is very uncomfortable. I'm just kidding, that happens like 100 times a year.
They did a lot of movies here in Little Mexico. You have Big Fat Liar, Nacho Libre.
As we leave our flash flood, though, we are now heading into Old Mexico. Old Mexico has been used in projects like Jack Black's Nacho Libre. Paramount came and filmed some scenes for an episode of Star Trek Picard here as well. So live long, prosper, my friends. But as we leave Old Mexico, we're now headed in to Six Points. This is our western town, and it was called Six Points because in the early days of the studio, there were 6 streets where 6 different productions could all film simultaneously because they were silent films. It didn't matter how loud each one was being. The stable to your right was used in My Little Chickadee, starring Mae West. And over to your left, we're passing by an opera house. That, of course, was used in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's where young actor Julia Butters sat and comforted Leonardo DiCaprio on the set of their Western. But now, take a look to your right at these hotel lobby doors. They're these white French doors with the blue and white curtains, and they look the same, but they're different heights and sizes. So what is up with that? That is a movie-making trick that dates back to those silent film days, and it uses perspective to the
a lot of the
camera's
Western movies were
advantage. So the
filmed
way
here.
it worked, for example, maybe
The
there was
Saloon,
an actor portraying a
Hotel.
bad guy, and they wanted him to appear larger, scarier, more burly. They might put him in front of that smaller door. That would make him appear that way, right? And the same is true of his co-stars. Maybe there was someone who needed to look like they were a little more likely to be tied up on some railroad tracks. They might put them in front of the taller door. That would make them appear smaller, maybe more in need of rescue, more mindful, more demure. However, on screen, all 3 of those doors look like the exact same one, which is a little bit of how that magic worked. Disney has filmed here in our 6 Points Western sets. They used it for some beginning scenes of their film 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Sometimes when a very distinct time period project comes in, we'll even cover the streets with dirt to really help sell that moment. Now folks, at this point in the tour, we're past our halfway mark. I do have to remind you to remain seated at all times, and in the event of an emergency, dropping something of value, or not being able to wait to use the restroom, go ahead, pull that emergency cord, but otherwise do remain seated. Folks, at this point, we are headed to another part of our studio lot that was crucial in making our classic monster films. You'll notice I speak about them a lot throughout our entire tour, partially because I love them, but also because they are such a legacy in our studio history. The original films helped our studio survive during time periods like the Great Depression, and even today, we are still doing remakes of those classic stories like The Wolfman that came out earlier this year. Now, most people probably don't recognize Little Europe as a monster movie locale. I think these days it's mostly known as The Good Place.
Little Europe has a lot of great movies. They filmed lots of the monster movies. So Dracula, they filmed Werewolf. Pirates of the Caribbean was filmed here too. The Good Place as well.
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
The Good Place, starring Kristen Bell and Ted Danson. For my fans of that show, as we go through Little Europe, you're going to get a great view of the railway station, so make sure those cameras are ready. But hey, welcome to Little Europe. Now that's a very generic name, but that's because productions can make it specific depending on what they need. You put the right language on the walls, the right set decorations, and much like every other part of our backlot, you can make this into any location, any time period, real or made up. Currently, Little Europe has this very sweet sort of storybook vibe to it. And its current look does lend itself to more modern projects like The Good Place, the pastels, the flower boxes, the curtains. Now, it didn't always look this way here. When we were doing those classic monster films, Little Europe had a darker, more of a gothic sort of Bavarian feel to it.
Listen now, the monster, he's in the woods. Get out the bloodhounds. Freeze on them when you can, lock the women indoors and wait for me. Are you ready? Go! Your torches and go!
Those films were very, very scary when they first came out, folks, I promise. Now, as we continue here, we're going to pull up into an area of Little Europe known as the Court of Miracles. That's going to be off to your right side. And the Court of Miracles was crucial in those monster films because that's the part of Little Europe specifically that they filmed those scenes where all of the townsfolk got together with their pitchforks and their torches off to hunt down the monsters terrorizing their town. As we roll by the Court of Miracles here, I'm going to turn it over to some of our favorite filmmakers to tell you about their favorite Universal monsters.
Universal monsters. Dracula. The Mummy. It's a classic. That it's one of the great icons of the world. That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror. I was just mesmerized by it. Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
They still ring in our memories now. We love them.
That last image there was actor Bela Lugosi portraying Dracula. His image in that costume is fairly recognizable to many, many people, even if they don't know the name Bram Stoker's Dracula or Bela Lugosi.
We're waiting to go inside
some people don't know about it too,
San Francisco
is that they made two
subway.
versions of the film. There is the English version starring Bela Lugosi of Dracula, but there is also a Spanish version of the film. The way it worked is they would use the exact same sets, but two sets of cast and crew, depending on the language that they were making the film in, and then of course the correct translation of the script. So these English-speaking cast and crew would go in during the daytime, they would film everything on their schedule, head out at night, and then the Spanish-speaking cast and crew would come in at night and film the exact same scenes and head out in the morning. There are a lot of different critic opinions about the two films. The Spanish version is about 20 minutes longer, but critics also say it's the better of the two versions, and that's for a couple reasons. The main one, however, is thought to be that because the Spanish cast and crew got to come in after the English-speaking cast and crew, they learned from all the mistakes made during the day by the English-speaking cast and crew. So when they got in to film those same scenes at night, it really helped streamline their process and making a better film.
I am Dracula. Soy Dracula. I never drink. Why? Yo nunca bebo.
Bela Lugosi was also offered the role of Frankenstein's monster. He was still riding on the success of Dracula, and when he was offered another leading role within a horror film at Universal, he originally accepted. Now, if you've read Mary Shelley's novel Frankenstein, you might know that the monster is fairly eloquent, he has some things to say, but that is not as true in the film version. And when Bela Lugosi found out that the monster would not have lines the way that Dracula did, he said, any old background actor can play Frankenstein's monster. I don't need to do it. So they found any old background actor, and that was Boris Karloff. Boris Karloff, who of course made that iconic Frankenstein's monster look come to life. He spent about 4 to 6 hours every single morning getting into that look, did a full day of filming, and then it took him about 2 hours every night to get out of it completely. Karloff ended up losing a significant amount of weight from the filming process just because of how heavy the costume was. Same girl, I love her. All right, now this video, or this image here in the video, that was Karloff in his full Frankenstein monster makeup and costume, but he had a cloth over his head. Well, even before cell phones, they were concerned about spoilers, so he had to walk around the studio lot with an assistant holding his hand and a cloth over his head. But also you have to remember it was the 30s, and they were very concerned that some poor, sweet, innocent women would just not be able to handle such a sight in person. Now, monster movies and The Good Place are not the only things that have ever filmed here in Little Europe. Disney's used Little Europe before as well. They used it in parts of they used it as parts of Port Royale and Curse of the Black Pearl. They also used it for the Princess Parade in The Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement. And my personal favorite, Disney turned Little Europe into some dancing scene locations for their version of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, and that of course stars Brandy and Whitney Houston. Arguably, though, the most important thing that ever filmed in Little Europe within Universal history would be our very first Best Picture winner, and that is All Quiet on the Western Front. And our most recent Best Picture winner was Oppenheimer, so hopefully you got a chance to see that one. Now folks, I got to tell you about sound stages at the very beginning of our tour. It looks like it's our turn to see inside of stage 50. As we go through our set of elephant doors here, I just got to remind you all, please make sure you remain seated and hang on to your belongings and hang on your socks, of course. Keep those arms and legs inside. I would just really hate for something to get touched or dropped and mess with the continuity that the art department has just so expertly established in here. Oh, that's Crafty, folks. That is where you get your snacks. Always know where Crafty is if you're working on a set. Just a slight Californian tremor, folks. Hang on.
up, Winsky? Yeah, I agree. I'm glad they reopened it because it was closed for quite some time. But I'm glad they finally reopened it back. That is recycled water. It's not clean water.
And it got a full makeover last year for the tour's 60th anniversary. They updated all those props to look like they came from this century.
Let's get it, Jaden. We did.
Inspired by the '74 film Earthquake, starring Ava Gardner and Charles Heston. Folks, we're looping around nearby Amity Island once again to get to the other parts of our lot and then back to the theme park. This time when we drive by, instead of me yapping at you, I thought I'd turn it over to the director of the film himself.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office that Jaws in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of the ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a great circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the traffic. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is...
That's a great movies were filmed in the back lot right here. Bird Box was filmed right here in the back lot. In this section, which is pretty cool.
And myself all envisioned and created. I'm done bashing the shark. Thank you, Jaws, for everything you've done for me. But I will say, consistently, the shark did look much better on the tour than it did in the Atlantic Ocean in 1970.
As we head away from Amity, we are headed into this lovely residential area. This white house with the green windowsills, that is known as the Chicken Ranch. That was used in Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, as well as Dolly Parton's movie musical from the 80s, The Best Little House in Texas. Now we've turned down to Colonial Street. This is a great day that you pick to come take the studio tour. It's very rare we get to actually drive down the street, as it is the most frequently filmed location on the entire studio lot. So great choice to come today. Now, most people call this Wisteria Lane from the show Desperate Housewives, but on our lot it is known as Colonial Street. Folks, on the way back, I'm going to point out some specific houses for you. So first, on your left, there's going to be a brown house with a big tree in the front yard and some white stairs to the front door. That was used in the film Candy Cane Lane. When they filmed that here, they covered the streets in fake snow. Right next to the brown one is this white house with the blue shutters. That was Bree's house in Desperate Housewives. To your right is a yellow house. That was Davy's house in the Netflix show Never Have I Ever. And right next to Davy's house is this purple one, my personal favorite. That was 1313 Mockingbird Lane from the show The Munsters. If you were here 60 years ago taking the tour when it first began, there's a good chance you would have run into some production traffic, specifically from The Munsters, as that was one of the largest projects filming on our lot at that time. As we leave Colonial Street though, folks, we're now headed up Drive. That's very fitting, as you just got to hear from him about Jaws the film as well as the attraction here on our lot. Jaws is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. Steven Spielberg, the director of that film that won Academy Awards in many categories. One of them, of course, editing. Verna Fields, a pioneer for women within the editing world, was a winner, of course, within the Oscars for her category. But something people don't know about Mr. Spielberg is that he also has executive produced many projects, one of them being Back to the Future. That, of course, is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. Now, the most iconic thing in Back Back to the Future would probably be the time machine, right? But what is that time machine at the end of the day? It's a car. Now, there's a term used for vehicles you see on screen.
Let's go. We're at the
Blumhouse.
House.
Sometimes they're not cars.
𝐤𝐤𝐤.
Sometimes they
We're
don't
ready
even
for
have
that.
an engine or run, but the term is picture car. That's an original glamour tram. That's what you would have been taking the tour in if you were here 60 years ago. You might notice that gyrosphere from Jurassic
van
Park
from
does
Black
not have any
Phone.
glass on it.
And then
The
that looks
glass
like a
is an
room.
effect added in during post-production, as real glass would be too reflective in the camera. If you're ready to rebel, you can take Barney Rubble's car out for a walk from the Flintstones. And of course, we've got some vehicles from both the Transformers and Fast and Furious franchises.
Yeah, it's on the other side.
If
Trying to
you've
look
been
at
driving all day long though, you're gonna have to stop for a rest at some point.
I'm trying to show you guys the
Lucky for us,
𝐤𝐤𝐤
we made it
mazes,
to the Bates
the
Hotel,
Blumhouse.
and I can assure you, even though the front looks a little busier than usual right now, all
The Hollywood
12
sign.
of those rooms are vacant and waiting for you. Alfred Hitchcock's film Psycho from 1960 was the very first
No
film
John
to show
Murray.
a flushing toilet on screen. Yeah, a little fun movie trivia for you there. However, that is the only potty humor I have as part of my tour for you today, my friends. As we head this hill, you might notice that the house at the very top looks smaller when we're up close than it did when we were down at the bottom of the hill by the motel. It quite literally is smaller. The house is built on a 3/4 scale. That uses that perspective again to make it look like a little higher and spookier, more ominous. Now, I'm going to ask this very nice, rather sharply dressed young man if he knows how to get back to the theme park. You know, we are real movie studios. Sometimes we get rerouted. And hi, I have this really nice group of tourists and we're looking, okay, I get your point, thank you.
Norman.
Somebody call the HOA. All right, folks, now, a moment ago, I got to show you a very nice neighborhood. This, unfortunately, has seen better days. Welcome to Steven Spielberg's set.
It's a real life plane that they bought in the junkyard. It's actually a junkyard for planes. And they bought the plane for $60,000. But they ended up paying more, I believe 160 or 260,000, just because the plane couldn't pass the freeway. And what they ended up doing was cut the plane in pieces. And that was the only way they got the plane over here.
War of the Worlds starred Dakota Fanning and Tom Cruise. For those of you curious, yes, that is a real 747. It was already decommissioned when production purchased it from a plane graveyard up in the Mojave Desert, as they call it. That's pretty straight north of LA County. The plane's torn apart for a few reasons. Most importantly, the disaster story element of the film, but also it had to fit on the back of truck beds and all those freeway overpasses. Down the 14, the 5, whatever other roads they needed to take to get it to its filming spot. At this point in the tour, folks, we're probably about 15-ish minutes away from the end, so in the event of an emergency, you're going to need assistance. Pull the emergency cord, but otherwise do remain seated at all times. As we giddy up on out of War of the Worlds, I'm now excited to welcome you to the real set. Claim from Jordan Peele's film, Nope.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible mission and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Judah Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Share. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? What? The little see the brand new Star Lasso experience. To showcase an unbelievable new
Similar to weather, sound design can also be a very influential storytelling tool. That's especially true in the horror genre. I think that's a really clever way that the production team of the film Nope was able to showcase some of the sound design choices they made for that horror film as we got to see the real set. We're now headed back to the theme park. We've got a couple turns away to the unload area. On our way back, I thought I might turn it over to Mr. Spielberg again, and he can tell you how he got his start here within Universal.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Grade Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on location, but most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
Nobody get any big ideas from Mr. Spielberg there.
What's up, Journeys? Thank you. Appreciate it. For sure, Journey. Thank you. Appreciate it, brother. Have a good day. What's up, Luis?
Hopefully I did a better job than that guy. He seemed a little bit stressed.
I've been on that tour so many times since I was a kid, and I just love it every time.
The first time I ever went on the Universal lot, we did the tour.
I grew up in Los Angeles, and that was like the place to go and see Jaws.
I got my introduction to Universal Studios through the tour, so then to be in the movies and seeing the trams drive by, it's very overwhelming.
One of the coolest things actually about shooting for Universal is sometimes you get to shoot on the lot, and then you look over and it's like there's Jaws, or like there's the flash flood and all those trams riding around. It's the coolest thing ever.
1979. Back then, tram drivers were kind of a little reckless, a little crazy. There was no restriction on cars going anywhere. We used to drive all over and kind of duel with them back and forth.
I have so many amazing memories of the lot when we were shooting Back to the Future.
Being here brings me back in time, I'll tell you that. The tram would come through, the tourists would see Michael J. Fox, and they're taking their camera snap, snap, snap. So one day, Michael J. Fox had his own camera, and every time the tourists came through snapping their pictures, he ran out and he started taking pictures of them.
Just some fun memories there of Universal Films and filming. You have another view to your right of the San Fernando Valley, as well as our sound stages and backlot sets at the bottom of this hill. If you weren't able to see the water tower or the Warner Brothers lot over there from the loading area when you first got off the tram, you might be able to see it here. Looks like we're just waiting for our parking spot to open up. And as soon as it's there, we're just around the corner. I always like to end the tour though with some suggestions. Go check out the Waterworld show. It is my #1 suggestion for everybody. It is a stunt performance and special effects show. They are real Hollywood stunt performers that are in movies, TV shows, but they also do the show here at the park. It's an actual link to working Hollywood, and it's very impressive. The Waterworld Theater is up near the front entrance where you came in today. And when you get off of the tram, there's going to be a big sign. It says Studio Directory on it. That's going to have wait times,
I know we won't make
show
it.
times, park hours, more info for you to plan the rest of your day. And you can check out the Waterworld show times on that directory. You also can get that information from downloading the Universal Studios Hollywood app on your phones. That has other features as well, like mobile order. And if you're interested in any of the NBC Universal titles you saw stay on the tour, you can visit 𝐾HE.com. As we say here in Hollywood, folks, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining me today on your tour of the studio. I hope your behind-the-scenes look was inspiring to you in some way. For my guest in the fourth car with a lost item, please speak with the folks in the light blue shirts, our studio tour ambassadors, and they will be able to give us an update on that item. Make sure you watch your head, watch your step as you get off the tram, grab all your belongings. My name was Michelle, I was your guide. Your driver was Kurt. Unless you did not like the tour, then we were Glinda and Alphaba. Have a great rest of your day, folks.
Baby, don't you treat me this way, but I'll be back on my feet someday.
Yeah, I don't think I'll make it. It's too far from here to there. They already let people in. So we'll do Panda, and then we'll go do Pets, and then we're gonna call it after that, pretty much.
No, Mama. Ready?
I don't think we're gonna make it. Panda and then Pets and then the entire. That big one. All right. Okay. Bye. Yeah, that is. We're gonna go do Shrek. We're gonna go do Shrek 4D, which is Panda now. DreamWorks Studio. It is hot, not gonna lie. we're late. We're not gonna make it for Water World, and if we now, I have ran 2 times where I was a minute late on time, and they still said no. So there's no point. So we'll go do Panda. I always see these guys with their custom-made owls. Pretty sick. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the shares. You guys are the best. Yes, sir. Team Shrek. Hey, how's it going?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Yeah, same. Good. I'll see you around. Thank you. Thank you. Fast and the Furious? Yeah, that's the Fast and the Furious drift ride roller coasters. It's gonna open next year. Go on Tower of Terror. They don't have that here. This is Universal Studios Hollywood, not Disneyland. Yeah, that was Shrek 2. Posters right there. And then
Welcome to Universal Studios Hollywood. In order to experience the activated experience. All guests must be able to independently maintain an upright position throughout the experience, with only one guest person. Expected mothers and guests susceptible to motion sickness, seizures, heart conditions, or abnormal blood pressure, and back and neck or similar physical conditions can see any of the adults.
this one takes about 10 to 15 minutes for them to open up the doors. And then, what was I say? Little history on the DreamWorks Stadium. So originally here they had Shrek 4D, as you guys know, and then Universal had an idea of putting 2 shows, which is Kung Fu Panda and Shrek. And what ended up happening is that COVID kind of messed up and they lost a lot of money. And they ended up canceling that idea, and they ended up removing Shrek 4D just because Shrek 4D was the one here first. Kung Fu Panda was up and coming movie. So which is pretty cool. hopefully, when Shrek 5 comes out, they'll have that idea, putting both shows, right? Just different timing. Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Express, you're gonna be in this line. Yeah, this is the express line right here, this middle line. Express will be this middle line right here. This middle line is express. The AC's. Feels always so good. Bro, the AC in here is fire. It's hot outside, bro. As you guys know, it starts off with the mirror talking, the walls breaking. That's why I do recommend, if you're gonna record this show, come to the back to get a better angle of everything. Compare that if you stay in the front, you have to tilt your head up. And then if you're obviously recording with your phone, you got to look up, left, right. Well, over here in the back, you don't, because you get a wide angle of pretty much everything, which is pretty cool. Once again, thank you guys for the likes, the shares. That's help out the stream. You guys are killing it. Appreciate the mad love and the support.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DreamWorks Theater. It's showtime. Beacon, lights. That could have got better. All right, boys, places. Let's put on a show. Hey, where's my macchiato? Get ready for the donkey and session. You mean the Shrek and Donkey Show? Especially these guys in front and maybe that family over there. They're obviously Kung Fu fans. Look! The helmet of Master Thundering Rhino. I see you, Thundering Rhino. And raise you one talking captain. Wait, look at this. A sword of heroes. Oh, aren't we hoity-toity fancy? And the coolest thing of all, the Ming Hammer. A relic so powerful, it knocks you into the spirit realm. Check this. I can't compete with that. Hold it! Oh, you just received a message from the Emperor! Ooh. My clever son has been asked to make a special delivery for the Emperor! How do you know that? Simple, I read his mail. Is that delivery? Oh, yeah, that's important. It's more than important. This is the liquid of ultimate power. Well, if the Emperor needs that delivery, then we'll make sure he gets it. Right, guys? But we may not all survive. Okay, like that.
Copy reporting for duty.
She said duty! Sorry, guys. I think we may need some warriors that are a little, bigger.
Aww. Wait, I know something fun. Let's have a tea party.
That's the boat! How about if you guys come us back up? You're serious? This is gonna be great! Meet you inside. I must have a liquid. Oh, with the Ming Hammer, the liquid of ultimate power will be mine. Come on! Before she changes mind. I heard that. Just kidding! Hey, buddy, you need Sam, he's yours.
All right, let's go.
Greetings. This is Master Shi. Please step all the way into the theater. The Emperor is waiting.
Your experience today takes place in a seat that moves to the action on the screen. Due to the motion of the seats, all guests must remain in their own seat throughout the experience. Once again, all guests must remain in their own lead seat. If you prefer a stationary seat or need any assistance, please see any available team member. Thank you and enjoy the show.
We can't start the show with anyone being Mr. Grumpy Face.
The seats are like just like a theater. They do move up and down, left and right, back and forth.
Hi, this is Skipper. Welcome to the show, Iron Man. There's plenty of seats for everyone, so no need to push or shove. But we are on a schedule and the show's about to start. So come on, push, shove, get in those seats. Punch down, people, let's go. Thank you. Skipper out.
Hiya, folks! It's me, Gingy! Please step all the way into the theater and fill all the available seats. The show is just about to begin. Oh boy, it's gonna be so much fun! on! I can burst my gumdrop buttons!
Here we go, boys. We gotta get the mean hammer back. Hope you guys are ready.
Hey everybody, are you ready to go? Okay guys, fill her up!
Oh, Dad, let me help you.
Oh, you're such a good son.
Oh, hey you there, Mr. Butterfingers. Be careful with that.
Hang on everybody, this is quite a ride. Imperial Paris, here we go. This is so exciting. Oh, watch where you're going. We're going to hit those bars.
It's like the river just ends up ahead. Let me see that.
According to the map, it's a waterfall. lost your special delivery.
You are my special delivery.
Wait, me?
Then what was in that bottle?
The secret ingredient to my hot sauce. Dad, your hot sauce is awesome!
And your tongue is as formidable as your kung fu.
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of training. Oh, I almost forgot! Bye, guys!
Let's go, W.
Joe again! Joe again! Joe!
Those two kids that passed me right now, they had a plushie of a slushie and they threw it across the room. Those are savages for doing that. I believe at 5 what? What time does Waterworld start? At 5 what? What's up, Villa? Universal? Yes. We did it. What time does 6:30. Not at 5? 5:45 or no new foods, nothing new, accessories, popcorn buckets, not yet. But we are expecting all right, let's go. Let's go do 6:15. We'll see. We'll see. Let's go do pets. Hey, thank you. Hello. Thank you. All right. You know what it is? Villa, depending on the day. For an example, if they close at 9, I do recommend it. But if they close at 7, not really. I don't recommend it. Yeah, we're doing a Secret Life of Pets based off the first one and the second one. Yeah, so depending on the day, bro, it is $500 for the VIP, but you get to go through the express. You get food, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you get that, which is pretty cool. So it is worth it. And then also they give you like an exclusive look in the back lot, which is also kind of cool, you know? So I do recommend it, but make sure to get it for right when they open. So 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock,
Again, depending on the time that they open and the time they close. If they close at 9, go for it. If they close at 7, don't go for it, bro. That's just me. I'm pretty sure there's videos explaining which one is better. But me personally, I like when they close at 9. It is packed for Express right now. But yep.
It's like you're in the big yeah. That one's not scary. Yeah. Yeah. And if we have comfortable cat,
Pretty sure the ride is down or something is going on.
we'll go through Jurassic. We never gonna go on one ride. We're in like
Just one. Thank you.
No one. They're strays.
That is so sad.
Yeah, but on the right side.
Listen and learn, puppies. Look, we gotta find you guys a family while you're still puppies. We got a ticket clock, and you're not getting any cute. Luckily for you puppies, there's an adoption event happening right now at the pet store just a few blocks away. But we gotta hurry. Adoption day is almost over. Plus, I'm being totally honest, I do not have the greatest attention span. This thing goes on for more than like another 20 minutes. I'm getting bored and zone out. Okay, back to the plane. This is a madness. Leaving that, I enjoyed myself. Okay, look, it's a little ranch. The point is, That's me. That's you.
No, just one.
We got the famous pizzeria box. Come on in, one.
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you. They're going. I know, right? All right, let's go. We got Duke and Chloe up there. Let's see what type of dog we are. Hopefully we are a canine or a husky. Let's cross our fingers we're one of those two, right? Here we go. We are a poodle. We wiggle our tail. All right, they added 4 new characters. We got Gidget, Max, Duke, Pops, Chloe, and Buddy. Snowball over there flying the drone. And then we got Mel over there at the hot dog station, taking care of the hot dogs for us.
Well, me guys, I've yet to lose a single puppy. And I know it.
That's Mel. That's a regular dog trying to get the stick. That's a Dalmatian dog trying to get the ice cream. And that's for the second one, the old lady with the cat lady. And she ends up adopting a tiger, a white and black tiger. She thinks it's a cat. Then we have an evil cat. And then we got the alley cats. Careful with them. They don't play nice. They will destroy your couch. And then we got R.I.P. Ricky. And we got Gidget and Max. Max in trouble as always with the cats. Gidget saving them. That is correct, Jaden. And then we got Snowball. Playing with fireworks. Snowball, hang on tight. Do not play with fireworks, Snowball. Aboard, aboard. And then we got Mel and Buddy. Get off of there, guys.
We got Chloe. Chloe, quit playing with that. And then we got Max and Duke. Duke! They're playing with a bigger fireworks, the big one. That was okay at 4th of July, but not no more. Aboard. Tell them, Jaden. The aftermath, we got Buddy, Max, Duke, Mel, Chloe, and Snowball. Kung Fu Panda, where we were at. W. Eat the Clown. And sure. 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐞, we're ready for our Scooby snacks.
This is gonna be great! You're gonna be all clean and fluffy, and you're gonna get adopted.
We got Max, Duke, Max, Buddy, Mel, and Duke. They were just showering. Mel over there playing with bubbles. We got Chloe about to take a shower. As you guys know, cats are 100% cleaner than dogs, but I guess they want Chloe to smell like bubble gum or strawberries. So she's getting a bath so she can smell good. As you guys know, cats and dogs hate water. We got Snowball chilling in the spa area. And if you bow, you wiggle your tail like so. Pretty cool, neat trick. All you gotta do is bow and you wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let's get it, Jaden.
Mom, Dad, look! What do you say? You wanna come with us? Yes! I want to!
Congratulations, we made it. We got adopted. We got Buddy on top with the balloons. 𝐥𝐤𝐤's usually here, but she's out. We got Duke, Max, Chloe. Chloe with the cupcake. Save us some. We got Pops. We got Princess, Leo, Rooster, Snowball, Mel, Daisy, Tiny, and Norman.
You guys leaving already?
W.
Welcome home. As you return, please lift your arms and walk release.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. We've been here for almost 2 hours. As you guys know, I don't try my best not to pass the 2 hours. Try to keep it at 2 hours. You guys are looking for popcorn buckets. They still have some. Excuse me. But yeah. What's up, Marv? Shout out to the PH. HHN. The Monstro Maze. Yeah, that was Shrek. That's the Monstro Maze for Halloween Horror Nights. Hope you guys are getting your tickets. Make sure to get them so you could come and experience monstros. We're pretty much done for the day. Wondering if they're gonna add esqueleto bones right there like last year. But really, he's here at Universal Studios. I thought I saw him at Knott's in the morning.
Elisa. Oh, I got 𝐥𝐢𝐤𝐞𝐞.
Yeah, I don't think Jared is here. He would have. I would have seen it. Unless I didn't catch it. Yeah, I'm waiting for the new popcorn buckets for sure. We got the Scooby-Doo gang. We got Scooby, Shaggy, Fred, Velma, and Daphne. Oh, okay. There's a schedule at 5:30. Oh, okay. He's probably on his way over here. That's cool. Let's go check if they have new merch. Oh, okay. I don't see nothing new. Yeah, nothing new. Alright, guys. I guess I'm gonna end it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm not gonna wait that long for Waterworld. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back again on Tuesday. That being said, have a good night. Enjoy the rest of the night. If I do bump into him, I'll be dope. But I work tomorrow, so I gotta get ready for work. Gotta get my stuff ready. Good night, little Richie, Jaden, Marv, Journeys. I'll see you guys. Appreciate the mad love. Peace.